here we are this morning with our final week of lockdown alert level 3. And this morning, rather than the senior leadership team talk to everybody, we thought we'd pull in our senior student leaders to have a chat to everyone about, I guess, their experience of lockdown and what they're looking forward to most about coming back to school in the next couple of weeks. And maybe they've got some great advice for us as well. So why don't we kick off with Toby? So Toby, what have you been up to the last, I guess, 6 or 7 weeks, and how have you found the lockdown experience?
Yeah, because we've been in lockdown, I've had a lot more time to create and do a lot more of my music stuff. So I, along with, after I'd done all my school stuff, I also signed up for a online music production course that kind of dealt with recording and things like that. And that's been really, really good for me to learn more about the stuff I'm really into. So yeah, I've been doing a lot more recording and music and practicing and things like that. And I've also had more time with my family, which is cool.
Fantastic. And Sophie, have you been doing any music over the last few weeks as well?
I've been doing some music. It's been a lot more time to practice recently. I've been doing extra other hobbies that, you don't normally get as much time for. And I've also been picking up some more shifts at work, after school time, when we would normally have extracurriculars and stuff like that.
Cool. It's not a great sound link with you, Sophie, but hopefully everyone can hear what you said. So, James, what have you been up to?
Well, I've been hanging out with my family most of the time. I learned how to cook.
Hey.
Been pretty good,
And James, what about online learning? How have you found that experience doing your classes, interacting with classes over video lessons and stuff?
Well, I found it interesting, how easy it is to get distracted. But it's been good to have that new learning experience.
Harry, how's your experience been?
Mine's been pretty good so far. Just been getting out, getting a few touches of the football in before the season starts back up. Getting a few odd jobs done that I didn't have time to do.
And what's your favourite lesson been that you've been doing online? What have you engaged with most in at home environment?
I think the calls are definitely the best thing for us while we're at home. So it's good to be asking questions when your teacher's present, which has been really helpful. What was that?
So the actual interaction between the teacher and the class.
Yeah, definitely.
Great. Has the technology worked?
Yeah, it has. It's been really good.
For me, it's been really good sort of remembering how much I love my alone time and spending time with myself. It sounds kind of sad, but I my own best friend, so it's really good. And just revisiting a lot of some hobbies that I haven't had time to do, like painting and things like that. But yeah, that's kind of what I've been up to. Yeah.
So as we look to come back to school and you take, I guess, the experience you've had at home, what is it that you're most looking forward to as you step back into a school environment? And I suppose you won't have that same time that you've had to do all of those extra things. You're back to this pressure of NCA, level 3 UE for you guys. What's that going to look like for you? What are you most looking forward to about that? Who should we kick off with? Let's go to Sophie again.
Honestly, one of the things that I've been missing the most is just, seeing everyone. And extracurriculars are a big part of my life, like drama and stuff. And, having that every day and then going to nothing is a big change. So I'm looking forward to just seeing everyone again and, getting back into the stuff that I'm missing out on.
Fantastic. Toby, what about you?
Yeah, I've got to agree with Sophie. A lot of the extracurriculars are a big thing for me. And honestly, it'd just be great to see some human faces, because it's been 6-7 weeks and you've only seen people in your bubble, and it's just crazy. So yeah, seeing people in real life, not just on a video call, will be quite different. And I'm really looking forward to that. And also, catching up with the teachers, and also just getting back into the regular sort of routine of like me, I bike to school, and that's something I haven't done in ages. So just little things like that will be really great. Yeah.
I'm definitely looking forward to getting back into it. Missing the sport a wee bit, so looking forward to getting a bit more active. And yeah, just kind of looking forward to being back in the classroom with the teacher instead of doing things over the phone or the computer. It's a bit easier.
For sure. James, you got any advice for people as they come back to school?
Well, I would say work on your sleep schedule now rather than later. It can be pretty hard waking up at midday and then realizing you missed out on school.
You wouldn't do something like that, would you, James? You've been up
Never.
That's a really good point, though, because I guess when you're working on your own time and you're doing independent learning, you do make your own schedule, don't you, about what works for you. And some people prefer to work in the evenings. And getting back to having to be at school at 8:50 every day and be in your class on time, and I guess following the rules again of what school looks like is going to be really interesting, isn't it, Ruby?
Yeah.
I'm not picking on you, I just
personally really enjoyed my midday starts, but the hardest part has been not being able to sleep till 3 a.m. So I'm definitely going to be needing to get back to my schedule. But I think the biggest piece of advice would just be not to be too hurried about getting back into it, because it can be really overwhelming if you've had 2 months off school, you know, and then you just straight back into it. But just remember that like the teachers really want to help you, and so it's really important if you need help to ask. Yeah, that's kind
Sophie, has the sleeping been an issue for you as well?
Not as much. Like my natural is like just, you know, the same as pretty much school hours, like give or take an hour or so. But it's definitely being like the ability to choose when I want to do what schoolwork. You know, it's not like I have to do history in my history period. I can do history, you know, and when I'm supposed to be doing chemistry and stuff like that. Like if I want to look at history all day, I can at home. But if when we go back to school, that freedom is going to be taken away. So it's going to be quite hard to get into a schedule of going from one thing to the other, like every hour or so.
Yeah, for sure. And Harry, what advice have you got for students as they come back to school and they have to settle back into routines?
I'd say it's much like Ruby's, just kind of getting back into it slowly and talking to your teachers. And yeah, just kind of getting back into a normal routine, I suppose.
So on next Monday, we're going to have a 6-period day, just so you can touch base with every one of your teachers with just the senior students at school. So that's our way, I guess, of just altering things a little bit to allow you to touch base with every teacher on day one, just to catch up, to see how things are going. Not too much pressure, so we're not going to throw you in there and say, you know, where's all these assignments you should have done. It's going to be more around just welcoming you back to school and making sure you feel really safe and welcome as we go into the rest of this term. So it's going to look really different this year, and there's going to be a lot of pressures, I guess, and challenges, particularly for our Year 13 students. So I guess we're looking for students like you guys, but all of our Year 13s to step up and really understand that they're going to have to work extremely hard with lots of nurturing and support around them to get through the rest of this year. Anything else you want to have a quick chat about before we move into your opportunity video, which I'm going to play in a second? Toby, you got any final advice for people?
I think just be kind to people. That's really important because, yeah, it is another transition. It's like us going into lockdown was a transition. Getting into the online learning, getting back into normal learning is, yeah, it might be quite hard for some people. It might be really easy for others. Like I quite like a normal structured school day. I'm quite productive in that setting, but others definitely aren't. So just be kind to each other, communicate with the teachers, like you guys were saying. That's really important. And yeah, try not to stress too much.
That's actually fantastic advice, and I think it's a really nice way to finish the conversation on that note for people. So, hey, thanks guys for giving up your time this morning and sharing with us your experiences and giving a bit of advice as we head back to school. And I know that it's all going to be about opportunities now, and the biggest opportunity is going to be obviously the opportunity to focus on your NCA credits if you're in the senior school, and really working out how that's going to look for the rest of the year. And for junior students, just around getting back into normal routines, getting yourself settled, of course seeing your friends again and really enjoying the school environment and the social aspect that comes out of that, particularly after not seeing people for 6 or 7 weeks as well. So we'll see you all next Monday. So enjoy your last week of lockdown. Thanks guys.